This is me hanging up. We just finished our phone call before you fly to Croatia for 4 months. I don't know where the two came from. But this is my new place, or at least that's the wall, one of the walls. I have many walls because it's got different corners, the kitchen alcove. The bathroom also has walls of its own. Pay a lot for this place. Get the highest treatment. So, I hope you had a wonderful flight. I hope you don't have a chance to download this before you leave, because that would be, the sort of like, bye, and then you're going the same direction sort of thing, and it gets kind of weird, and then you're like, oh, I can't film a video, so it's just sort of awkward on your end, but not for me. So actually, I don't care. You can feel that awkwardness if you want. The wind also tore a chunk of my roof off tonight. Not my roof, but this like plastic, sort of like a cheap version of the tin covering that you see put on roofs to help slick snow off. But it wasn't installed properly on the upstairs deck, and so it was cracked when I was first moving in. I took the downstairs apartment, so it's not really too much of a worry of mine. But I heard all this clanking outside, and it was the roof getting torn up and then thrown about 15 feet across the deck over to my corner. So got a little detritus lying outside, ruining the view, but I haven't gone out there anyways because the rain sucked. So I haven't exactly gotten like my summer picnic table out there, and I don't have a pitcher full of, Long Island iced tea or anything, or stuff. So I've just been inside my one-room studio apartment, but the bathroom, 2 rooms, 1 habitable. For the whole time. Not really the whole time. I went out the other night. We went dancing at this restaurant that turns into a dance club, and it was pretty incredible. The music wasn't overbearing. It was just this small, tight little place. And for the 2 hours before that, first I took a client out to dinner, and then I went biking across town, and then it started raining, and then I thought, maybe I'll go home. So maybe I'll go home before I go out. So I stopped and I got a couple of Budweisers, and then I was going to bike down the hill after that, but then I decided I don't want to bike up the hill to bike back down the hill, because I usually break a pretty mean sweat doing that. So I hung around outside, and I did some biking around. Then I realized I was getting too wet. So I called the guys up, and I went down and met up with them, and then we went dancing at the place, which was cool. And then I biked home. There we are. That was the end of the story. The end of the story was the part of the story that could have happened in the beginning had I biked home before going out, but instead I biked home after going out. And my bike got really wet, and I got soaked, and it was dripping grease everywhere, and that was cool. But I couldn't make it up the hill because I live on like a 30-degree hill, at least 30 degrees. There are steps on the sidewalk on the other side of the street, which is pretty ridiculous. The first time I the first time I perpendicular parked here, so that the right side of the car is leaning downhill, I thought the car was going to go tumbling down the street, and in fact I dropped a grapefruit when I came back from the farmer's market, and it went down the hill at about 20 miles an hour, and I have no idea where it went. It just disappeared in a second, so I lost my grapefruit, and now I only have 2 grapefruits to get me through the week, which is too bad because they look very good. And I think that was the ripest of them all, so I'm going to have to wait a day or 2 to eat the others. I also got some new speakers. Very good. And that's the new place. And this is the first one, and I hope you figure out how to use your camera so that I can hear from you soon. Bye, Sparky.